You Robin Hoods gather round, storm these pews at the sound, spoil God's coffers for Korihors, steal these ties to feed the poor. Poor church mice send their offering plates, we'll wake to our hoods in their face. Rob St. Peter down to the floor, make God stand for something more. We'll fleece Mammon's coffers, their starving flock to feed, send them back to Jesus without their means. So Judas steeples into unholy sod, finally have more money than God. If Uncle Sam had their money, he'd feed the folks they don't. But godly men get elected so that he won't. They dance round the mountain with their golden calf, cast their tablets down on Yahweh's behalf. No need to pay to pray in their pews, look to Korihors, good news. We'll fleece Mammon's coffers, their starving flock to feed, send them back to Jesus without their means. So Judas steeples into unholy sod, finally have more money than God. Their golden gates won't let us in, or the widows might redeem their sins. Graven images paint a hell so bold, but golden plates can't indulge their souls. With their 30 pieces of silver, we'll escape their hell. If they try to stop us, we'll ring their bell. If they get up the Danites on their graves, we'll trod, finally have more money than God.
It's it's the Korihors doing ghost stories again because we still have not yet moved into the new house. So we are in Virginia making the best of a desperate situation. And I've been thinking a lot lately, guys. Thanks for being here. No, it's so late and probably somewhere in the world Bill Real is still yammering. But screw it. There's only so much of that you can do. I was thinking, why should Jesus people have all the fun with hoarding the money? I mean, after all, we are the ones who are followers after a man who said that every man profiteth according to his strength. Oh, great. Cool. Why aren't there more people here then? Where are you Korihors hiding out? Just because my computer tells StreamYard I am still in Utah, apparently. And so when I say, yeah, I guess we'll go live at midnight, my time, which is 10:15, like normal, it winds up scheduling everything for 2:15 in the morning. Oh, damn it. My fault. Sorry. But I was thinking, with right now you've heard surely about this bricks and minifig scandal that's going on. And I haven't followed it closely enough, and just enough to have found out today that it has something to do with the American Fork Police Department, who is and was and shall forever remain likely. Sorry, we're going to figure this out. My arch nemesis. I actually met a couple guys there who were pretty cool, but generally speaking, not a fan of the American Fork Police Department. And but in any event, apparently there's money being made in Utah again. Once again, it's because of white collar crime. This is a whole state, a whole society founded on white collar crime. And I thought, why should they get all the fun? You know what I'm saying? Right now, they're building a UFC championship ring in the back on the back lawn of the White House, so that one person who has to be among the stupidest people ever to have breathed air can get rich off of his investments into a company where people who like to well, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say this much. It's not wrestling, it's not boxing, and it's not homoerotic. I'm just but no, Pride Month and all. But anytime, that's fine. Whatever. No problem. No big deal, as Stanley Tucci would say. Those of you who've seen the movie Easy A, no big deal. No big deal. All God's children. I was gay once. No big deal. This is a great movie. Stanley Tucci is like my mirror. He was my soul's mirror. I was meant to be Stanley Tucci. I just kind of got stuck here. And I thought, I can come up with a clever scam. We might as well be the ones pulling off scams. And as I always do, I always resort to, I know how to do it. I know how we would finance our godless work. I said we would just like sell like Make America Great Again gear. They they don't they don't care. Like they care. You just create an LLC and then you burn it after a few months. It's just like sell a bunch of drop shipped stuff. It's like they're going to give that money to somebody anyways. They might as well be giving it to us. And then we just, that way the money's actually getting used for something purposeful. The problem with that is I can't make myself do it. I can't. I would be such a rich man if I could just make myself cheat a little bit. Just cheat a little bit. I made videos for MLM companies for over 20 years. And one of these guys I met, nice guy, very nice guy, but he was one of this millionaires club, the leaders of these MLMs. This is one thing I can tell you, I could never do. I could never get rich in multi-level marketing. I could never do it. I know people who've done it. I know people who've done it several times. But I can tell you this, I don't have that gene, even though my whole family works at MLM. Everybody in the Ralts family works at MLM now. And yeah, it has. And so, anyways, but I had this guy that we said, look, you're going to go on camera and you're going to say one thing. And it has to, and we had them pre-script 2 lines. It's like line 1 and line 2. And we get one in a wide angle, one in a tight angle. And he said, oh, yeah, Amway. Oh my gosh. Amway in 2008, in 2026, in the year of our Lord 2026, Amway. I think it's actually illegal in America now. Several MLMs have had to shut their doors. They're basically, the business model is practically illegal in America now. But so many of them, oh my gosh. I am sorry. I am sorry. Like, I know people who went there. Like, it used to be a thing at Isogenics that we'd say, just go easy on these people who just came over recently from Melaleuca. That was the company where the most depressed people in the world came from. It's just like, I mean, they worked in Idaho. They had and had lived in Idaho. They moved to Arizona. We hired a whole bunch of Melaleuca people when the company started growing, and every one of them, it looked like they'd been through a war. I mean, they were really, I don't know what happened to Melaleuca during those years, but it was bad. Years that Monavie started, and my dad worked with me at Isogenics, at least, and then Monavie headhunted him to Utah. Anyways, so we had this guy, and his 2 lines were, I'm like, we're gonna write 2 lines together. One is going to be to get people's attention, and then the other is delivery of the major wisdom. Like we had one person was she said it was a younger person, younger woman, and she said, I love to go on vacation and come home to more money in my bank account than when I left. Another woman, she's like, I've made millions in network marketing, but the thing that really gets me excited is how many millionaires I'm making. Not how many millions or how many, but how many millionaires, something like that. And this one guy, he's like, the one thing that's unique about me as one of these millionaires is I am one of the few ones who worked in financial planning, worked as a financial advisor. And he's like, let me go out with that angle. And so he goes up there and he says, I've been a financial advisor for like 20 something years. And he says, and the one piece of advice I tell my clients is to make extra money. And that was it. That was the sage wisdom. That was the whole thing. I remember looking at my boss at the time and I'm like, what do we do here? Do I say something? What do we say? I had so much more creative control with all the other lines. And then the one thing I tell my clients is to make extra money. Whatever, just let them have it. But so, anyways, so I went on from maybe we'll make a scam to let's do something with actual value. I don't know how many of you saw this, but I've been um but I've been making TikToks. And one of the TikToks I've made recently was was asking, is there smut in heaven? Because I've been thinking a lot about how people are having trouble, churches are having trouble keeping people in the pews these days. And the new thing that they've been saying is that women are leaving church more than men are. And I thought, well, yeah, I mean, how many of these women are figuring out right around now as the technology becomes more abundantly available, as it becomes more socially acceptable, maybe. But it seems like you always see women reading Kindles these days. Good Christian women reading their Kindle on their phone, on their iPad, on their actual Kindle. There you go. If you don't have a house, buy a house. And I said, I want some minister to answer this definitively. Is there smut in heaven? Like, can they take their Sarah J. Mass with them? Is there such a thing as a bodice ripper in heaven? Because, like, I can tell you this right now, if you think you're having trouble keeping people in the pews at church right now, you tell these good Christian women that they can't read smut anymore, they're gone. And I'm already getting the nasty comments in these videos, and I do relish in it a little bit. It's almost like that time that that Cardinellis said that I had gross people on my program, on my show, or something like that. And he told his guest, he's like, I'll send you something later. He has gross people on his program. Really? Wow. Okay. And but I had this idea. I said we could capitalize on that a little bit. And so I said, what if we were to make smut that doesn't qualify as smut technically, but that many women particularly would find very sexy, but because there's nobody naked or having sex in it, technically it's not, it circumvents all the laws because it's just, but it's something that women would find, maybe some. These are just ideas. I'm looking for feedback here. I'm brainstorming. So I thought, we could use images of Korihor, the great exemplar. I mean, supposedly he was a pimp. He doesn't mind. So I said, let's do something very women will find very sexy. That doesn't necessarily, it's like the brawny paper towel guy. You know what I mean? We need the equivalent. We need a Korihor equivalent to the brawny paper towel guy. In fact, maybe we just do that. But I made one of these. I thought, this is a good idea. Here we go. See, ladies, very sexy, very very sexy. This is Korihor. He's washing the dishes. He's wearing the apron, keeping his clothes tidy. He didn't even. She didn't even have to ask. Now that's this may be a little bit sexist, but I can tell you this right now. Back when there was a Rollins household, this would have gone over very sexy like. This was a very, nice, right? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. We could make money with this, you guys. Another thing that I was thinking we could do is that we could make end of the world preparedness kits and just like drop ship them. But here's the thing. Here's where the mistake gets made. The church makes this mistake. The church's biggest mistake, the Mormon church's biggest mistake, is that they made themselves rich. They made the church rich, which I'm sure is grand, but it's not your money, even if you can control it, it's not yours. You know what I mean? The church then just creates opportunities for their family members to profit from church adjacent business. But, I'm like, that's no fun to make a church rich. We need the church to work, the Church of Korihor to work to make all of us rich. And then that way we can spend all of our time spreading the good word of Korihorism. So I was thinking, what if we have just in case kits for the rapture? We're never more than a few hours away from some section of the Christian world falling down on itself because of the this Thursday, this Friday, whatever. The rapture is going to happen, right? They're going to start throwing all their money away anyways. We might as well be on the receiving end of it. So we could just like make like one of these kits. It's like, and just brand it as, we know you're going to get taken up with the Lord when he comes. But just in case you get left behind, what's your plan for charging your devices, right? Do you have enough ammunition? And then we don't even have to lie to them and be like, look, we're a church for godless people. We're just letting you know you're not that different from us. If we're getting left behind, you're staying with us. And it's gonna get wild. I don't know. You guys tell me. Let's get a brainstorming session going here. Because I also thought about, we could try shorting DJT, shorting the Donald Trump stock. I looked into that. It's extremely difficult to do. But that can't keep going forever. How is it that one stupid person can make money off of being stupid, but like all these people who are so smart, we could struggle day to day. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a good time. There's a very good idea in this actually. The 1830 edition of the Book of Mormon is in public domain. How do you think it is that Rod Meldrum's able to publish his version of it? Isn't it Rod Meldrum who publishes the annotated Book of Mormon? We make a big deal out of it, just like completely like ads, just random generated facts in there. Facts. What does it matter? Nothing factual in there anyway. Just saying. I'm just saying. The fraud is the thing that gets to me every time. It's misleading people. It's just like as soon as I think about, yeah, we'll just do it. We'll just so what if they're misled? It just takes me out of it. You know what I mean? It just makes me want to. Yeah, I don't love it. We need more of these '60s era illustrated cards, though. I mean, this is a good idea, man. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna buy a whole deck of these. I had said back in the day, it was surprising. I think I got kicked out actually of a Facebook group for this, if I remember correctly, or I got like a warning or something. It was an ex-Mormon group, and I said I'm a little stunned at how many people I meet who are leaving the church who don't realize um, when they make their first forays into the online erotica of how much diversity there is because I'd be privy to so many conversations with new expos who would say, "Well, I still I may be no longer in the church, but I still don't understand why it is that we have to, you know, patronize anything that where people are being forced into this work, and it only favors these unrealistic body types, body standards, body image standards of women with 0% body fat and like triple E, cup sizes and this and that and this and that and this and that." And I was like, "Oh, you do not know the wide variety of what's available on the internet? The whole internet is out there, and they do all kinds of things." And I I was stunned at how many times I would have this conversation. I was on vacation with a with a couple. There were several of us in this group. You know, yeah, we were friends. We were friends. But this woman had recently left the church, and she's like, if they made like Regency era um erotic content, I would watch it. She's like, but they don't do that. And this was like an adult person in the world. It's like, oh my goodness. I said, am I about to just like blow your mind? I'm like, look, watch this. I'm like, I take her iPad from her. I pull up. No, da, 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 da. You see this right? So you see this right here? That's a search field. Like, don't click on anything on the home page. What are you, uh, uh what are you, a plebe? What are you, a commoner? What? No, pull up the search bar, type it in. Regency era. Boom. I put that iPad back in her hands, and I said, "This is the part where we don't see you probably for like a day and a half." And sure enough, disappeared. Where'd so and so go? Listen, I just helped. But it amazes me that people think the world is made up into these moral absolutes, and it's like I mean, how often I have the conversation about what is real work. And I got into it actually with a close friend once. I said, "Look, I'm a big passion believer on that sex work is work." And they said, "How can you even say that?" And I'm like, "Really? How long have we been friends?" I was like, "Okay. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. We all have different feelings about things, but I'm just saying, it's like, you realize how much stuff we do in the world that's really just all sex work?" Because I've worked in marketing my whole career. I can tell you, pretty much everything we did was sex work, technically, because people had to do it really to get money and it involved exploiting people's sexual interests in their bodies. I mean, it was like, in photography, when I would do photography, it was the same thing. This is it's all about upselling the sexy of the product. That's just like I was saying with this card. It's like it's one thing to say, yeah, well, it's amoral to make a business out of something that is titillating. And it's like, to somebody, this right here, that's the hottest shit that they've seen all week. You know what I'm saying? This is somebody's corn, as they say. You know what I mean? But we can figure something out. And then everybody just gets, nobody has to buy in, nobody has to invest anything, nobody has to bring in a friend, bring in two friends, or bring in two friends. Nobody has to, you know, sign any of their children over as collateral or their house or something. Nobody has to go and get a loan. You don't have to get on auto ship. It's just like, hey, you want to be a Korihor? Check it out. We got this great profit sharing program. Sign the dotted line if you want the money. If you don't want the money, whatever. Just take the oath of reason. And but the rest of us, we need the money. So we're like paying bills and things. So we signed up, and now we all get paid. And it's just like, why not? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, aren't we all doing it? I mean, this is what it's all about. But it's like, you know, here's the thing about, okay, so here's the thing about like Disney. Okay? Disney's brand was and is, to for the most part, that it's family entertainment, right? They've made content with extremely adult humor, even in the children's content, for like 30 years. And they've just gotten away with more and more and more and more of it. Which, whatever. It's not, no, I don't have strong feelings about it. But then when they bought National Geographic and Fox News and, or, yeah, wasn't it they bought News Corp? Or they bought National Geographic, they bought Star Wars. They bought all of these things, and it started producing content, or adopting content from like Hulu and everything. That's like very adult content. I mean, at least it's, this is R-rated stuff. And it's not as if Disney never made R-rated films. They did. But it's like they gave up on this brand. And it didn't really matter because it was just about the mergers. The mergers and acquisitions were so profitable, and getting rid of their competition and putting it all under one roof is so profitable that the brand, everything that is what they had sold themselves to be, family entertainment, entertainment for kids, or whatever, is like it meant nothing to them when it was like, but we can have a merger, and everything goes right out the window. Nothing sacred at all, as long as there can be a merger. And it's just, what world are we living in? You know what I'm saying? At least they say that George Lucas gave his 2 billion, 4 billion, whatever it was that he got for Star Wars, gave it away to charity, or he's giving it away to charity. So I said, man, we could come up with something better. But then I happened to consult with a Korihor recently, who is a financial advisor, and said, why don't we do what the church is doing? Like, let's say that the Church of Korihor was able to find that kind of, at least some funds. So could we just do what the Mormons are doing? I mean, if they're doing it, you can play at that game. And they said, yeah, you could do it. We could get you set up. But it's yucky. I'm like, what? What do you mean it's yucky? It's yucky. It's no good. It's not a good look. I was like, okay, I care about how it looks, but I'm more interested in how it actually is. Like, it's morally wrong. Ah, damn it. Why do we have to be the ones who are being morally right about things? It's like if we could just convince people we're doing it in the name of God, we could get away with anything. This really sucks. They probably think that we're rich because we're atheists, and they think atheists are all rich. It's like people who think that everybody who does OnlyFans is rich beyond measure. I'm not going to say. I was about to say. Do you know how many people I know who do OnlyFans? That sounds wrong. I have friends, as you guys know, like because I've had guests on the show who are in the industry, and let me tell you, they go through some real struggles, man. It's a hard market out there, and it's not just about like things that you would think, like body image or worrying about finding people to collaborate with or make content with. It's like ordinary things like people finding your images and then making AI duplicates of you, or people making um, or people outing you to your employer, to your regular day job employer, things like that they have to worry about like constantly. And it's like, man, this is a real sacrifice. This is a real labor of love, if you will. It's like, why do you do it? And for so many of them, it's like the most practical of issues. It's got nothing to do with, oh, it's always been this way, or I just don't really care, or anything like that. It was always something like, well, I need to be home from this time to this time so I can pick my kids up from daycare at this time, and this is pretty much the only thing I can do that pays anywhere near enough to make that schedule work. And it's like, you can't tell me this isn't a job. This is totally just a job. And that's kind of discouraging, because you want it to be kind of like exotic or something. Yeah, I guess that's all exotic to somebody. So, but I was just looking, I'm like, how is it that these Mormons are making so much money ripping people off with Legos and on one side, and then they're framing poor Tyler Robinson for the unhappening of a certain gentleman, and and they just get away with it all the time. I mean, just they're shocking criminals. They just get away with it, and then it's like, but we're the ones who are trying to be good, and yet we're the ones who get blamed and told that we have no morals whatsoever. It's astounding to me. So yeah, that's what. You guys want to see something cool? That was my content for the evening. I am in Virginia now, as you guys know, and I am with my partner. And this was our first evening where we got a chance to get away from the property and go out to the town and do it up. So we did. We took advantage of it. I'm gonna pull up my TikTok. I just think it's so funny how many of these people, the passion that they feel on these subjects. I'm just going to show you a few of my recent TikToks because this is always so bizarre. Oh my gosh. Where is it? Here we go. Okay. Let me know if you guys can't hear. I don't know how you would do that. I guess you'd have to like bang pots and pans together. Hope I hear it over in Virginia. We're gonna get this. We're gonna figure this out. Okay. Okay. There we go. We'll call that good enough. Okay. So this is my TikTok, is our TikTok channel. We have 6,344 followers. Am I really following 9,909 people? I don't know how I did that. This is an old account. I guess I did one of those follow back things for a while. Anyways, this is a video that This is a guy whose videos I sometimes respond to.
So my son accused me and my wife of not being good parents. It's
Okay, so I don't get it. Did you find out or did you not find out why your son thinks that you're bad parents? Because like waiting for the conclusion on the story. Like when you asked him, why do you think we're bad parents? What did he say? And did you get to the root cause of what it is? Is he in therapy? Because he might need to talk it out. I mean, if he said that much to you, he probably needs to say it out loud, even if it's whether it's to you or to somebody else. Because
So this is really funny. The content is not particularly funny. I get that, but the thing that's funny about it is I end up responding to this guy's videos when he obviously is just trying to virtue signal other people who are very conservative. So he'd posted this thing about, oh, my son's upset because all we did for him on his birthday was take him out for, for dinner and cake and stuff. And then his sister, I don't know why he can't be supportive of his sister when we decided to take the whole month to celebrate her and on her birthday. And then the whole thing is in service of the last line is him talking about, oh, and my state capital flew the pride flag today. And so I was like, oh, okay. So that's why I'm getting comments from him saying, you're joking, right? I'm like, no. I mean, I bet his son did tell him he was a bad parent.
so, you God people.
This is the one.
Is there smut in heaven? Can I get like a priest or a minister to weigh in on this? Like Sarah J. Maas. Can you read that in heaven? Because I can tell you this right now. Whatever fragile numbers you're getting in the pews right now, you lose. The Church of Korihors, our godless congregation, will win. We will win if you cannot have Sarah J. Maas novels in heaven. You will lose. Everybody agrees, right? Like pretty much. So pretty.
This is the shed. Those of you who have been asking about this. This is my shed. I'm super excited.
There's going to be the doors I can get artwork in and out of easily. And then this is the door. Technically a front door. Technically a back door, though this door is going to be the front door. And this door is going to be the bathroom door. As soon as we build a bathroom. It's also where we're going to put the, oh wow, interesting. Interesting.
I can't hear my watch.
Interesting. Oh, there we go. I know how doors work. Elijah's room. Living area. My room. Minimal. So pretty. It's so pretty, the shed.
Now I know my watch is open. Let's see here. I started posting this the day that I decided to AI generate a whole bunch of images of me in the Spanish Inquisition get up for the Joseph Smith video we posted the other night.
Joseph Smith.
I had to post it everywhere. I had to post
Stopped car, not moving. Remember that rebellions are built. My friends. So you've heard about Magic Mormon underwear, right? I'm not driving at the moment. I'm about to head out. When I was a Jack Mormon after coming home from my mission, I read a book called Leaving the Saints by Martha Beck. Don't recommend. But interesting things. She described penalties that they used to have to do in the temple. And I was like, what?
People still don't believe me when I tell the story, by the way.
I would have heard about that. And that wasn't the only thing. This is my travel here. Anyways, but she described having to take the garment off, the underwear, which was one piece back then. Very sassy, very Borat-like, but long, but not as revealing. Very Borat, but not as revealing. And you would have to loop it over one arm, the dirty ones, while you showered, and then loop it across the other arm when you turned around to shower the backside, so that you never took it off, ever. I confirmed it with my parents. So you've heard about magic?
I mean, people say I'm lying, but then let you look at these comments. I know people who worked out in their garments, had sex in garments, and refused to take them off except to bathe. I even thought they were weird when I was Mormon. LOL. This person allegedly Joy. Are you one of our regulars over here? Says Martha Beck is the best. She was Hugh Nibley, the apologist, Egyptologist. I don't know that he was officially an Egyptologist. I know that he was, technically a historian, maybe anthropologist. But his daughter, yes, she was. She is whom he CSA'd. Yeah, that's the book where Hugh Nibley's daughter accused him of handling her. Anyways, Jesus jammies, those were the days, this person says. Jade is one of my regulars on TikTok, says, when my husband and I met with my bishop just before we were married, he told us if we got the one-piece garments, we wouldn't have to take them off for sex. Mind blown. My husband laughed, but my bishop was dead serious. About that same time, I was showing my soon-to-be sister-in-law some lingerie I received from my bridal shower, and she told me it was immodest. It's immodest. So it's like, I get into trouble because there's this one person on TikTok, and well, she's a content creator, and she does this show called The Church is Still True podcast or something. I don't remember what it's called. But she goes and makes these videos wearing a tank top on the grounds of the temple and showing off, look at how beautiful, how could this not be heaven, and da 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 da. And I make like these snide comments because I'm toxic. I'm like, wait a second. But I mean, come on. There's a lot of church hurt in this for a lot of people, not just me. And I'm like the least of it, right? Of people who are like, wait a minute, hold on. Okay. There's a time where somebody would have asked you to cover up if you were on temple grounds wearing a tank top. And so it's like, and then I'm like, I'm not trying to body shame. I don't want to go fall into the trap of doing what they do while making a criticism of it. But I mean, at the same time, it is dishonest to say, oh, well, we're this very progressive thing. It's like, you're not, though. I mean, you can play at it. You can do the influencer game. I don't know. But on the other side, I just kind of, I also have to say, you know what? If they're doing better, let them do better. So, anyways. But it's a fine line to walk, you know what I mean? I took out my endowments, Bonnie Hunter says. I took out my endowments in 1981, and we did those penalties all the way up until 1990. That is the year they cut it off. That was 9 years before I went through the temple. I'm still triggered when I think about it. I resigned from the church 20 years ago. Did you ever read Sacred Not Secret by Nemelkos, my friend Jaron? I can't believe I didn't see that. I did not even realize that was a thing. Christopher Nemelka?
How to go from atheist to a believer in God to having a relationship with God explained.
I love this so much.
In less than 60 seconds. If we're going to have a relationship with God, it starts with a humble spirit. It starts with a willingness to humble ourselves and say, you know what? I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. And if God exists,
I mean, fair. That's I love it. Yes, this guy's hitting all the points.
Want to know he exists. And then the next step is to get into the Bible, to start reading the word of God, to start praying, because faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. But you have to read it with an open.
I do tell people, and it's mostly for effect, but it's not untrue, that the best advice I can give to anybody who wants to decide that wants to steer towards becoming an atheist is to read the Bible. That one will do it every time, man. Just
heart
read
and
the
an
Bible.
open mind. And as you read it and pray and ask God to reveal the truth of it to you, but see if it comports to reality. See if what it's saying is true or not. Because a relationship with God.
It's so fascinating because it's like it's the same thing we did with the Book of Mormon in the church. They're doing still with the Bible. Can you imagine? Man, it was hard enough with the Book of Mormon, let alone with the Bible.
There really isn't any
This guy,
Mormon Bible. Okay.
this guy seems so sweet. I hate to burst his bubble. This is one of the videos I made about how there is actually a Mormon Bible. It's called the Inspired Version of the Holy Scriptures, or the Joseph Smith translation. And when even his grandson Israel Smith, who published this book in the end, which now I guess the Mormon Church finally owns the manuscripts for. So we'll see if anything comes of that. It doesn't look like it so far. They bought the manuscripts for the Joseph Smith translation of the Bible, and then they gave their people permission to read other Bibles beyond the King James version, and that's it. It's like didn't happen to mention that. Yeah. Anyways, that your dear prophet said that he had retranslated the Bible, corrected it, but even his what's up, Meryl? But even his great grandson said, or grandson, his grandson had said that Joseph Smith meant for that book, for the Joseph Smith translation, to be the one that people thought of when he said, "We believe the Bible to be the Word of God, in so much as it is translated, so far as it is translated correctly." That was the JST he was talking about. That was the Joseph Smith translation. And when people say, "Well, no, okay, but how could that possibly be? It's just a commentary on the Bible. It's not an actual translation of the Bible." I'll remind them, okay, do you think that the Book of Moses is just a commentary on Genesis? And they say, well, no, the Book of Moses, that's Revelation. Great. Where did it come from? It came from Joseph Smith's retranslation of the Book of Genesis, dude. It's surprising how little people
It's
know about their
actually a
own stuff.
direct translation.
I'd like to have an argument, please.
Is actually a direct.
No, they show themselves as one in purpose, not three beings in one substance. That's nowhere in the Bible.
In case you can't tell, I've been leaning really hard into this Trinity debate challenge. I can't get anybody to follow me.
I'd like to have an argument, please.
Oh, we already did this one,
Have
didn't
you
we?
been here before?
No, this is my first time.
I see. Do you want to have the full argument, or were you thinking of...
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Apparently, I pissed off the wrong element. Dude, the likes on this, 164 likes. There's like thousands and thousands of views on this video. It's the lyric video for the future story. Some of you Mormons need to do more true crime if you think that my girl, Emma Hale Smith Bideman, couldn't kill a man. In the handwriting of George D. Watt, recording for Brigham Young saith, "To my certain knowledge, Emma Smith is one of the damnedest liars I know of on this earth." Brigham! Yet there is no good thing I would refuse to do for her if she would only be a righteous woman. But she will continue in her wicked ways. Not 6 months before the death of Joseph, he called his wife Emma into a secret council. Oh, shit. And there he told her the truth and called upon her to deny it if she could. He told her the judgments of God would come upon her if she did not repent. He told her of the times she undertook to poison him. And he told her that she was a child of hell and literally the most wicked woman on this earth. That there was not one more wicked than her.
He told her where she got the poison and how she put it in a cup of coffee. Saith he, you got that poison so and so, and I drank it, but you could not kill me. When it entered his stomach, he went to the door and threw it off. He spoke to her in that council in a very severe manner, and she never said one word in reply. Emma Hale Smith.
Today that they were cut.
I'm telling you, I buy it. There are people who say no way. Yes, ride or die, absolutely. Emma Hale Smith loved Joseph Smith. Does that mean she could not? That when she found out that he had been stripping the maid and every other person he could manage to talk into it for over a decade, that she didn't slip a little strychnine into his coffee? No, I bet she did. I totally buy that. That woman was broken at the end of that. She was just like, dude, Joseph, you test me one more time. One more teenager, Joseph, one more. You just try me, mister. You just test me. And yeah, no, I mean, I've done enough true crime to know that's how that happens, man. That's not unheard of. That's not weird. I don't know why I have this on.
I think 1 point.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Where's Outer Darkness? Why are you Mormons making plan of salvation dioramas now without Outer Darkness? You're such cowards. Outer Darkness is the best part. If you don't know Mormon plan of happiness, this is how you exist eternally. I love Brett Hartley. Poor Pastor Mark Burns having... Dude, the new Angel Moroni sucks. I said what I said. I said what I said. No wonder the last one dropped his damn trumpet.
The best part is when I see people liking this video and I go and I am to look at their page and realize they are very clearly LDS.
The new Angel Moroni sucks. Dude, the new Angel...
Voting should be limited.
Guess what? Here's the truth about agnostics. Most of them don't even believe it.
That's all agnostics. It's literally what the word agnostic means.
Guess what? I have flaws. What are they? Oh, I don't know. I sing in the shower. Sometimes I spend too much time volunteering. Occasionally I'll hit somebody with my car. So sue me. No, don't sue me. That's the opposite of
the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
And
Saints,
then
we don't...
And then the ones that actually blow up just like totally organically without any prodding or prompting for me. It's not like I shared it to 100 people. It's not like I paid to add TikTok to advertise it. This video is the one that took off.
I don't believe that anybody goes to hell just because they're in the wrong. What's this? Oh, Joseph Smith Jr. Oh, hey, we know him. Oh, yeah. What's this? Oh, they're answers to sundry questions. Here's question 3. Will everybody be damned but Mormons? Answer: yes.
It always blows me away to see videos still to this day. They're like, what the difference is that in Mormonism we believe everyone gets saved. What? Like they
no
actually
one
say that.
gets arrested that many times with.
I think we're caught up on things I've shown.
You're likely to see or hear.
So yeah. Anyways, that was fun. It's always nice to get caught up. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, so there is there was a Mormon true crime channel with Beth Magnetic. And in fact, we were talking about her helping me out with Hellfire Agency on some of my projects. But I mean, it would make it actually a pretty. I mean, it's a full-time channel. Just if you just went over all the myriad white-collar crimes that happen in New York, in the New York of the Rockies. In Utah alone, Utah and Idaho and Arizona, man, you'd have a 24-hour true crime network just on the crazy things Mormons get up to. I mean, this Legos thing, this is the least of it. Let me see. Oh, you remember, anybody remember, or were you aware of the Washakie renewal energy group? Basically, it was the Kingstons, from what I understand. They were like the Kingston polygamists who are always in that government contract money. That's actually, I don't know how many of you were around for when I talked about how that's basically how they think how the Challenger space shuttle disaster actually wound up happening, had to do with the Kingstons. Anyways, but these they had started this company that would like earn green credits. I think that it was like either for recycling, like frying oil or something, or like for natural gas or something. It was some green initiative, green energy tax credit initiative, and they were just cooking the books and taking the money. And it was our tax dollars were paying to keep a polygamous cult kicking around. And it's just like, that's just normal. Yeah, it's just normal. it's the smarmiest, scammiest place in the world, man. Utah. Arizona is not far off. It's just remarkable to me to think that, there's some people out there who are making pretty phenomenal money and telling us, that trying to sell us on the idea that genius pays off. And it's like, why don't you have geniuses? Why aren't any of these geniuses making as much money? So yeah, that's where I am with that. Anyways, I thought that was fun. But it's just, why aren't we making money? We should just make money. That way we could spend more time doing our job, doing our real job, which is fighting for the godless. Oh, you guys see this? Maybe have it pulled up. That the Department of Defense has just released a statement about about dropping religious services for a group of other military faiths. All right, let me pull it up. I don't know, man. I think we're going to need to file an amicus brief of our own here. But check this out. Defense Department to drop atheists, pagans, and 175 others from lists of military faiths. The new list recognizes 31 recognized faiths, most of them Christian denominations. It's like, man, it's just getting bold here. The Department of Defense is substantially reducing the number of religions it officially recognizes, reportedly excluding atheists, pagans, humanists, and New Age faiths, an independent military-focused news website reports. The reduction of recognized faith groups represents the first time the military has revised the list since 2017, when it vastly expanded the list of recognized faith groups to about 211. The new list includes 31 recognized faiths, as first reported by military.com on Thursday. I had heard that they cut out Mormons from the list. I don't know if that's true or not. There's got to be some kind of there's some kind of lawsuit. Got to have to come out of that. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I ain't in the business of suing PX. I can tell that right now. Anyways, guys, we got to start doing earlier broadcasts. You know what I'm saying? It's difficult for people to stay up this late. You guys, does this time usually work out for you? Would you prefer that we went live earlier? Because usually I try to wait until after Mormon discussions is done with their broadcast, but man, we can't stay up this late every night. Anyway, we're going to do Godless Sermon. I've been working up a good one for this coming Sunday. I'm very excited. We're going to be dealing with the topic of grief. And it's not one that I've been trying to do for a while, trying to get around to for a while, but there's a possibility that I may be able to convince a special guest to join us and to deliver a godless sermon for us that on how godless grief is very near and dear to his heart. And so I've been holding off, but I've decided I'm just going to go ahead and give my version of it because I got this great new hymn to go with it. So that's going to be fun. So let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go ahead and close up today. I would stay up later, but it is literally it is actually like 1 a.m. to me. And I am actually supposed to get some work done. Still, I'm not thriving at the moment, but we're gonna get there. Let's see here. We're gonna figure it out. In any event, it's good to see you all. I am going to get some sleep. I hope that you do too. And don't forget that we are living in the future story. Flash bright, my friends.
We came from the oceans, the forest and plains. Our people had thoughts before they had names. Our hands made the mark for tomorrow to know. In case we don't make it, we were man, this was our home. Wise mothers and fathers, every child of mankind, carrying the story, what awaits us in time. For tomorrow we're born, the story's ours to write. Together tell the dawn, we survive the night. Remember, my child, that we set you free. Write the future story for you and for me. Before we knew borders, this world was our home. Sheltered and planted with words and with stone. Buried tools with our dead, told the story once more. With iron and wind, brought our story to shore. Wise mothers and fathers, we will carry your names in your words and ours. We'll pass on the flame. For tomorrow we're born, the story's ours to write. Together tell the dawn, we survive the night. Remember, my child, that we set you free. Write the future story for you and for me. Little one, remember that the story is alive. The past is important, but the future is wide. We chose to bring you here, so our story doesn't end. Please don't quit forever, just rest and try again. For tomorrow we're born, the story's ours to write. Together tell the dawn, we survive the night. Remember, my child, that we set you free. Write the future story you.